This is Russell Fagan, aka Sinistral Rifleman, and this is my video for the Rio Black Rifle match held April 6, 2019. I'm competing in Stealth Division with my KE-15 Action Carbine. Stealth Division allows for variable optics and multiple optics, but I prefer to use the Aimpoint T2 Micro and C2 magnifier. Magazines are limited to 30 rounds, and bipods may be used as long as they remain on the rifle throughout the entire match. This stage begins with 3 steel targets requiring 1 hit each at about 50 to 70 yards. The shooter then must engage these paper targets from within the shooting area. After engaging the close-range paper, I reload as I move to the final shooting position and then flip my magnifier into place. From this final position, there are 2 steel targets with light reacts at 300 plus yards. I was first Stealth Division on this stage. Overall, I was 5th with 76.22% of the winner's score. There are 6 hanging gong targets at the beginning of this stage. One thing I appreciate about the paper target arrays at the Rio Black Rifle match is that they're usually laid out in a logical fashion that you can find if you simply walk through the stage. There really aren't a lot of memory games at this match. On the move, I reload, deploy my bipod, and flip the magnifier into place. As soon as I set up, I start sending shots. This was 2 targets at about 275 to 300 yards. In Stealth Division, I was 3rd with 92.73% of the winner's score. Overall, I was 10th with 72.8% of the winner's score. This initial array of targets is from 50 to about 200 yards.
Hit! 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 Hit!
As I leave this position, the magnifier is flipped out of the way and the bipod is flipped up. I pick a position to shoot all these targets from so I can engage as many as possible without having to move, and then from this position I only have 2 targets left to engage. On the way up the stairs, I reload so I have a full magazine to re-engage the same 5 steel targets that I had to shoot from the first position. Whenever you can, when using props like this, position the rifle as close as possible to the primary support beam. This will have less flex and movement during your shooting. I had the fastest time in Stealth Division on this stage, giving me 100 points. I was 5th overall with 73.24% of the winner's score. This is a very quick stage. There is a spinner at 100 yards that is lightweight, so it moves slowly. Behind it, there is a popper that must be engaged. There are other targets at 200 and 300 yards. The trick to this stage is engaging everything in the optimum sequence so the shooter isn't waiting on the spinner to move. Because I miss a couple shots on the further targets, I end up waiting on the spinner. I was 3rd in Stealth Division with 64.38% of the winner's score. The winner's time was 12.65 seconds. This is a good example of how dramatically your score can change on a relatively short stage. The fastest time in the division sets the bar. Every other shooter's score is determined by dividing that fastest time by their time to get a percentage. That's how I end up with 64.38%. Turned into 64.3766 match points. All those points are added together at the end to determine the winner. Overall, I was 12th with 49.16% of the winner's score. This stage has 3 silhouettes with light reacts on them. The first is at 320 yards and the other 2 are at 380 to 390 yards. Something to keep in mind with all this vegetation in play is that I don't just plan that I'm going to the next prop. I plan exactly where I'm going to position on each prop to have a clear sight picture downrange on the targets. To perform well on stages like this, it's not just about shooting accurately. It's how fast can you move, set, stabilize, and send the shot. I was 1st in Stealth Division with the fastest time, giving me 100 match points. I was also 1st overall with the fastest time of 45.21 seconds. In the end, I was 1st in Stealth Division with 457.1 points out of 500 possible. I was 4th overall with 84.64% of the winner's score, or 371.41 match points out of 500 possible. Thank you for watching, and come back again for more match and multi-gun competition content.